The smartphone market is on the edge of one of its biggest shakeups in years, and it's not coming from Android. All signs point to Apple preparing a major disruption with the upcoming iPhone 17e, a phone that could completely redefine what a budget iPhone means. Multiple supply chain leaks and industry analysts suggest the iPhone 17e could arrive as early as next month. And if even half of the rumored upgrades are true, this device is poised to dominate global sales like few phones ever have, especially in the under $600 category. Apple might be laying the groundwork for the most successful mid-range smartphone launch of the decade. Sounds like Apple hype? The numbers tell a different story. To understand why the iPhone 17e matters, we need to look at what just happened with the iPhone 16e and how it quietly shocked the entire industry. The iPhone 16e, a quiet takeover of the budget market. When Apple announced the iPhone 16e, the internet was ruthless. Critics called it overpriced. Comment sections were flooded with comparisons to Android phones boasting higher refresh rates, bigger batteries, and more cameras. Many said Apple misread the room. Fast forward to today, and those hot takes haven't aged well. According to Counterpoint Research's global smartphone sales tracker for Q3, the iPhone 16e became the best-selling smartphone under $600 worldwide, not just among iPhones, but across all brands, including Samsung, Xiaomi, Oppo, and other Android manufacturers that usually dominate the mid-dash range. The historical context makes this even more significant. Just a year earlier, Apple's older budget models barely cracked the global charts. The previous iPhone, say, struggled outside the US, but the iPhone 16e didn't just improve Apple's budget presence, it transformed it. That signals something critical. Apple finally cracked the formula for a mass-market iPhone that appeals to first-time buyers, switchers, students, and international audiences. And with the iPhone 17e, Apple looks ready to double down. Why the iPhone 17e could be a sales monster. The iPhone 17e isn't shaping up to be a minor refresh. Based on leaks, it's a strategic evolution that addresses the biggest complaints about the 16e while keeping the price aggressive. Reports point to 5 major upgrades that make the 17e feel less like a compromise and more like a genuine flagship experience at a budget price. Here's what's rumored and why it matters for Apple fans and the entire smartphone industry. Upgrade 1, goodbye notch, hello dynamic island. One of the most obvious drawbacks of the iPhone 16e was the dated oversized notch. While Apple's flagships had already moved to the dynamic island, the 16e looked a generation behind. That's reportedly changing. Leaks say Apple is finally bringing the dynamic island to the iPhone 17e. This instantly modernizes the design and aligns it visually with the rest of the lineup. But the dynamic island isn't just cosmetic. It's become a core part of iOS, tying into live activities, navigation, music controls, timers, ride-sharing updates, and more. Android brands have tried to mimic it, but none have matched Apple's system-wide polish. There's also a branding edge. The dynamic island makes an iPhone recognizable across a room. In a sea of lookalike phones, that identity is powerful, especially for upgraders and switchers. For a budget iPhone, this is a huge win. Upgrade 2, slimmer bezels, and a more premium look. Another common criticism of the 16e was the chunky bezels. Functional, yes, but visually dated. The iPhone 17e is rumored to shrink those bezels significantly, closing the visual gap with higher-end models. Expect Apple's proven OLED panel to return, bringing deep blacks, punchy colors, and excellent brightness. Thinner bezels do more than improve aesthetics. They boost immersion, videos, games, and social media pop more without making the phone larger. In the mid-range, where many brands chase flashy specs but compromise long-term display quality, Apple's consistency could set the 17e apart as one of the best-looking phones in its class. Upgrade 3, a smaller, more compact chassis, same display size. Leaks suggest Apple is redesigning the iPhone 17's body to be smaller and more compact while keeping the same display dimensions, thanks to thinner borders. Think of it as the closest thing to a modern mini iPhone without officially reviving the mini line. This is smarter than it sounds. There's steady demand for compact phones, users who want true one-handed use, lighter devices, and better pocket comfort, but without sacrificing battery, performance, or display quality. If Apple nails that balance, the 17E could become the go-to option for Android users tired of oversized slabs who want an accessible entry into the Apple ecosystem. Upgrade 4, a massive leap in the selfie camera. One of the most exciting rumors comes from analyst Jeff Poo. The iPhone 17e may get the same 18MP center stage selfie camera as the higher-end 17 models. That's a big upgrade for video calls, social media, and vlogging. Center stage uses a wider field of view and smart framing to keep you in the shot. It's great for group selfies, reels, TikToks, and shorts, exactly where younger buyers and creators spend time. On the back, Apple is expected to retain a single 48MP camera. Even without extra lenses, Apple's image processing routinely beats many multi-camera Android setups in real life. Fewer sensors, better results. That's Apple's bet. Upgrade 5. The A19 chip changes everything. The biggest upgrade might be under the hood. The iPhone 17e is rumored to pack Apple's A19 chip, reportedly close to the A19 Pro, minus a single GPU core. Crucially, it should include Apple's latest neural engine and AI accelerators. This puts the 17e in a different league from most budget and mid-range Android phones, which often ship with chips that feel sluggish after a year or two. With a 19, expect smooth long-term performance, steadier gaming, faster photo-video processing, stronger AI and machine learning features, and multi-year software support. This is where Apple's Silicon advantage shows up daily. Consistency, optimization, and longevity. Pricing strategy, the knockout punch. Despite all these rumored upgrades, leaks suggest Apple will keep the starting price at $599. That is an extremely aggressive move. It softens tariff impacts internationally, unlocks better carrier promotions, and keeps the device accessible for students, first-time buyers, and switchers. Apple's expanded manufacturing in India also helps control costs and improves availability in emerging markets where Android has traditionally ruled. If Apple holds $599, the iPhone 17e could become the default smartphone choice for millions. Expected launch window. Current rumors point to an announcement between January and March, potentially via press release or a smaller Apple event. An early 2025 debut would let Apple grab momentum before spring Android launches and dominate the first half of the sales cycle, ahead of the rest of Apple's 2026 product wave. Why this is bigger than one phone? The iPhone 17e isn't just another model, it signals a strategic shift. Apple is no longer treating budget devices as afterthoughts. It's turning them into powerful entry points into the Apple ecosystem. iMessage, FaceTime, Apple Pay, AirPods, Apple Watch, iCloud, and services revenue all follow. Pair a modern design with real performance, premium features, and aggressive pricing, and you have a device that could pull millions of Android users into iOS for the first time. If these leaks are accurate, the iPhone 17e could go down as one of the most important iPhones Apple has ever released, the phone that resets expectations for what a budget iPhone can be.